Hi guys, it's Chris with City Gear Homestead. How about another canning video? This week I'm going to try to do bean videos, so get your beans out. Let's get busy. I am going to make chili beans because I'm like out again. I'm going to do quarts. If you want to do pints, just do half of whatever I do. So we're going to put in a scant cup of chili beans, or of pinto beans. You can use whatever kind of beans you want. If you prefer white, black, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just think the pinto beans taste really good in it. And I'm going to tell you, once you try this recipe, you'll never go to a different chili bean. I used to always buy them at the store. I don't do that anymore. It's all just my chili beans. By the way, if you haven't seen before, all my jars are clean. All my beans have been washed and put away, dried, you know what I mean, so they're good. I'm going to have to wash up some more because that's almost empty. Alright. Then we need a cup of diced tomatoes. These are actually from some canned tomatoes I got from Kroger last year for 50 cents a big jar. Tom always says they take up so much room, so I figured I'd use these up first. I might not have to have opened up so many, we'll see. I actually might just have just enough. Look at that. I got just a little bit left, so let me put a little bit in each one here. So 3 29-ounce cans should do enough to do each one a cup. Now I do have onion powder and stuff going in this, but I still like the taste of real onions in there. So I'm going to move that out of the way, I guess. I'm going to put a small handful of onions in each one. Because there's nothing flavored like a real onion. You know what I mean? It's just good. I used about 1 whole onion, a nicer sized one on that. Alrighty. That makes a little bit of room. Well, I got some over here. Let's use up what I've just dropped all over everything. Alrighty. Now we're going to add a bunch of spices. So, I am going to get rid of this. We don't need that. Alright, so we're going to use 2 teaspoons of paprika per jar. I'm going to have to open up my new one because this is going to be emptied here in a minute. And on this one, make sure you wash your lids off, your rims off really, really good. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to make a mess. Well, maybe not. I do. Maybe you won't. I'm just built that way to make a mess, I guess. All right. Let me open up my new one here. Never in my life thought I'd go through this much paprika. Not ever. But that's okay. One and two. All right. So we got paprika done. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way here. And then we need 2 teaspoons of garlic powder in each one. So how's you guys' day going so far? Good, I hope. And for those of you that wonder, yes, I do get a really early start during the week. We're up at 1:45 in the morning. Tom leaves here at 3 to meet up with Courtney at 3:30. And like on Monday, I had my grandkids at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I get a good early start. On the days I have my grandkids that early, they don't do nothing, but I let them kind of just, whoops, just chill a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And then they end up falling asleep on the way to daycare. Take a nap for grandma? What? That's a foreign language. Alright, so we got all that. Sorry, this takes a long time, doesn't it? Jeez, oh Pete's. Alright, then we need 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'll tell you, you know, I was told years ago, once you start making your own stuff like this, you'd never buy store-bought again. And you know what? They're right. Unless I ran out and hadn't had time to remake some or something. Because you know it's exactly what's in it. And, you know, like if you wanted to make it even a hotter mix or whatever, you could add more stuff to it. I was thinking, you know, you could add probably red chili pepper or flakes in there. I bet you that would be good too. So you can add whatever you want to make it what you want it to be. Now I need a teaspoon of salt. Finally, a singular one. You don't have to add the salt if you don't want to. But I'd asked Courtney's mom if she needed any beans, and she's like, no, so when I do stuff for her, I make sure I don't add any salt. And if there's spices in here you don't like, by all means, don't add them. If there's something that you'd rather have, add it. Alright, now we need a teaspoon of onion powder. Hopefully I got enough in here. Let's get this chunked up a little bit here. I told Tom, I says, we need to go through and refill all of our spices. Salt, pepper, everything. Everything's getting towards the bottom. Alrighty. And then we need, I forgot to grab it out here. a half a teaspoon of cumin. Now, if you would rather use something else, you know, to make it spicy, go for it. What's that one that's stronger than cumin? Or, you know, if you wanted to, that's a good idea too, if you wanted to add hot peppers to it, if you like it spicier. Because I noticed in the chili beans, they have all different strengths. So, you know, if there's something that you like stronger, then go for it. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is, oh, I just spilled it down my arm. We're going to fill it, and I go just below the 1-inch headspace. Because these beans are going to expand. So now I like to make sure that I debubble even my beans. But this also gets you a chance to get that spices in there really good. And I think that's why some of the beans that people do when they just dry can them like this, that's why their beans don't get soft enough. Because they're not getting air in between their beans. I've not had one of them yet turn out hard. Oh, I made a mess of that jar, didn't I? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. I'm going to get quite a few this time because I know I've got lots of spices on it. Now, with me doing the canning, if there's something that's reasonably priced and it's something I like, make suggestions. And if it's something I like and I can afford it, then I'll can it. If it's something I don't like, we won't can it because we're not going to waste our food like that. But, you know, if you have some good ideas, by all means, make suggestions. Make sure these are all really clear. Nothing worse than doing all that work and it doesn't seal. Like I can tell you, I'm not making up any chili this week, so we don't need that to happen. All right, so you just put your lids on there and get your rings. And get it fingertip tight. I know several of you have already seen me do the beans, but there's been people that haven't. So that's why I always show them. Everything is cold in the steamer, or in the canner. This is some of my favorite jars. I love the square ones like this. I just think they're pretty. So I'm going to finish filling these all up, and then I'll come right back. All right, so all 7 of them are in the canner. And I just got to make sure I got the right one here. I've got a bunch of different, yep, I got a bunch of different ones. Anyways, we're going to let this steam for 10 minutes like usual. And then once it steams, we're going to put that jiggler on there. And then once it gets to jiggling good and does it, then we're going to start our timer for 90 minutes. If you're doing pints, again, do half the recipe and do only 75 minutes. And I am using my 4-jar lids. You guys, I love these lids. I'm telling you, I love, love, love them. I don't have to worry about them not sealing. As long as I do everything properly, they seal, which is a good thing. So I'll be back when these are done and we'll see what they look like. So there we go, 7 beautiful quarts of chili beans. Some of them are still cooking. Oh. And tomorrow I'll wash them with soap and water, take the rings off, and they go back on my shelf. Get that shelf filled back up with my own home canned chili beans. Stack it to the rafters, guys. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing and see you at supper.